What type of consultant are you? What type of Scentsy consultant are you? Did you know that there's types? Well, I'm here to share with you the 4 types of consultants that you can be. And maybe this will help you decide on what to do. I mean, in the beginning, everybody just says do all the things, but who knows all the things? So you have to start somewhere. Well, I did a little breakdown of everything, not everything, the things you could do. Let's say it that way, the things that you could do or try to do to be this type of consultant. Now, I have a little screen that I'm going to show you, and I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to walk you through my little presentation. I hope you enjoy this, but stay tuned because I think you will get a little bit better understanding on what type of consultants there are. Here we go. We're starting off at the beginning. All right. So, what type of consultant are you? Let's take a look into this journey that you want to take. All right. The first one. This is the breakdown, guys. Here we go. 4 different types. The first one, kidnapper. Signing up for a full kit. Just wanting the amazing deal and to be in the know. That means you really have no goals to make this a business. You really don't want to do anything other than purchase from yourself. Now, the next one we go up is the hobbyist. Guys, the hobbyists are the best. And this is why I say this. They are ones that they're going to get that 200 once or twice a year. The 200 PRV once or twice a year. They always try to stay up to date, but they are better with their customers because their customers know that they're there to do this, but they won't feel obligated to purchase from them. Hobbyists, I have more hobbyists in my team than I have of anything else because they're doing it as they can. They understand that there's no rush to do everything. Now, again, we're going to break down what they need to be doing, but this is just the titles. So the next one is part-time. They love the products. They don't have a time to do all the things, which again, we're going to go over all the things, but they do get active with the 200 PRV every month. Now, the last one, the full-timers, because you guys know it takes 40, 50, 60, 80 hours a week. I'm just kidding. Full-timers do not spend that much time. I will break it down because I know you're like, there's no way that a full-timer isn't working this crazy, crazy amount of hours. Well, guys, in the beginning, when you are learning anything, it takes you longer. It is something that you have to work on doing. And yes, the task will take you a little bit longer till you get the flow. But once you start creating systems and start doing all the things, all the stuff that I'm about to show you, it becomes easier and it doesn't take as much time. So yes, when you start to move your business into full time, which means that you not only love the products, but you're also wanting to grow a team, it will become easier. All right, let's go ahead and look at the next slide. Here it is, the kidnapper. Now, they're going to ask questions when they want to do more. They're not going to stay up to date on your team page. They're not going to reach out to you every time that there's a release or every time something is going on. They're going to glance at it and be like, whatever. I don't know if you guys can see me, but that was just a zerber with my mouth. So these questions that they're going to ask are really, I got an email and it says that I am about to be no longer a consultant. What do I do? Or they might see something posted and be like, when is this coming? I'm really interested. Or I had someone reach out to me. But honestly, the kidnappers just love the products and they're not going to do much more than maybe just try and stay active, which is 200 PRV in 1 month and a rolling 12 months. So you can try and reach out to them, or you can have the team page where you're posting the different things that are coming up, but you're probably not going to get a lot of interaction from kidnappers. Now, the hobbyists, guys, again, I love the hobbyists. These are going to be ones that they're going to be working every couple of months, maybe every 3 months. And it's a really great person to get with because they kind of know what they need to do or they know what they want to do, but they don't want to do all the fluff, which is great because then they don't get bogged down with all the fluff. So they're going to ask questions if they want more, but they're going to do 1 to 4 parties yearly. So that means every couple of months, every 3 months, they may do one at the beginning of a catalog and maybe towards the end of the catalog. So all their friends can gather up, some orders or before stuff is leaving, maybe in transition months. Again, they're going to be like the kidnapper, and they're only going to do 200 PRV maybe once a year, maybe twice. So in 1 month, just to be able to stay active. They're going to make sure. Now, I can't say they're going to. These are the actions they should take. So if you found yourself in that you are in this hobbyist category, you want to make sure that you are thanking any of your hosts, any and all of them. And you want to make sure that you are reaching out to the customers that do purchase from you. You want to make sure that you are sending them a text, an email, or a Facebook message, however you connect with your customers, but you want to send them a thank you. And it could be even snail mail. You could write a little thank you card, real cheap from the dollar store, no big deal. The next thing is that they need to make sure that they're sending out catalogs at least twice a year. We have 2 catalogs every year. We have a fall and winter. We have a spring and summer. They need to make sure that they are sending out the catalog. Now, that does not mean it has to be mailed out. It doesn't mean it has to be the big paper one. It could be a digital catalog. It could be a product sheet that can be folded up and mailed with an envelope. And they want to make sure that they are sharing the scent and warmer of the month by either text, a post, something that their customers can see the new warmer every single month. And they want to make sure that, again, they are checking with their customers at least once or twice a year to see what orders they're wanting to put in. All right. So this is the hobbyist. So are any of you a hobbyist in here? I didn't check on the kidnappers, but they probably wouldn't be watching the video. But hobbyists. So drop below if you think you're a hobbyist. So let's move on to part-timers. Now, guys, Scentsy is full of part-time consultants. Why? Because we get to run our business the way that we want. We don't, and we're not required to have any amount of PRV except for 200 in 1 month over a rolling 12 months. Now, unless you have a team, if you have any team member below you, you have to hit active at least once every 4 months to keep that team. Now, these consultants, the part-timers, they're going to be messaging you with questions monthly, weekly, and you probably want to check with them and make sure that they have a goal for the month. It needs to be at least a minimum of 200. Honestly, I think the minimum needs to be 500. If you can get your part-timers to 500 a month minimum, then they will be able to grow a team and get paid on that team. Because you have to have at least leadership PRV monthly to get paid on your team. That's 500. All right, so they're going to have 1 to 2 parties a month. They're going to have 1 or 2 join conversations over that month. Honestly, guys, to make it simple, every one of your hosts, you should be offering the join opportunity. You should be having them the conversation about either partnering with you, joining your team, however you want to word it, whatever actually more feels comfortable. You need to be able to have these conversations without dread. Again, it's the 200 PRV in 1 month, and they're going to start updating their monthly newsletter that Scentsy sends out to their customers, maybe adding just some personal things. Now, it doesn't mean that it's going to happen every month. And if you're not doing that now, start doing that. Towards the beginning of the month, you'll get a notification that the newsletter will be releasing shortly. You also want to make sure that you are posting at least weekly, if not more, on social media. You can have a VIP group. You could have a business page. You can do it on your personal page, but you need to make sure that you are connecting with more than just your customers. Doing a social media post there is no guarantee that you will get orders or connect to anybody. But if you're consistent, you may have one of your friends not even realize that you're a Scentsy consultant. And of course, you want to do everything with a hobbyist. So you still want to be sending out the catalogs, at least digital, or the product sheets that can be folded up and mailed with a stamp, or sending them digitally to your customers. The next thing on on actions, these are going to be weekly. If they're part-timers, these are the things that they do once a week during the month. So week 1, thank you notes. Now, these are all suggestions. You can change these up. You can add your own things in. This is a broad example of things that you can do or could be doing. So week 1, send out thank you notes. This goes to every single host or customer that ordered the month prior. That way you are at least touching base with them and saying thank you so much. The next thing is to follow up who needs to order. So if you had customers from the month prior that hadn't placed an order, maybe they said they were going to, they didn't, you can check back with them on week 2. Now, when I say during the week, it doesn't mean that it has to be every Monday or every Tuesday. It means your goal for the whole week is to get that done. If you're one that you have a list and you want to get it done as fast as possible, then pick Mondays or Sunday, whichever day that you have more time. Week 3, check in on the delivered orders. So in week 1, we said thank you. Week 3, we are now checking to make sure that they received it. And how did it come? Did it arrive perfectly? Do you love it? Have you set it up? Have you pulled it out of the box? Because we want to make sure that it works perfectly and that there's no problems with the shipping or the delivery of the products. And then the last week is kind of your choice. Maybe it's setting up scheduled posts that go for the next month, or maybe it's reaching out to other people that you maybe haven't ordered yet, finding new customers. So you kind of pick on week 4. So this is part-timer. So now who is part-timer? Who is a part-time consultant here? Drop below a comment when you see which title you are. All right, we are going to move to full-time. Guys, because full-timers, we spend all this time running our business. No, we don't. Let me give you a little backstory on myself. I enrolled in school in January. A little over 3 months ago, I decided I wanted to go full-time back to school. Great idea. Except for the classes I picked, all have labs. So not only do I have 4 classes, they're all 4 hours because there's a lab in each one of them. 16 hours, full-time, working at the school as well, because I am doing a work study, along with running my business. Now, do you think I have 40, 50, 60 hours a week available for me to be able to work by Scentsy business? No. I've been doing this for almost 4 years now, and I've been able to minimize my tasks again and not do the fluff. That's why I said the hobbyists are the best, because they don't do any of the extra fluff. They do what is needed. And sometimes in your business, you need to go back to the basics of what is needed. So full-timers, these are going to be ones that are also going to be asking questions, if not multiple times a week, at least once a week, or 3 or 4 times during the month. And honestly, they may start figuring stuff out. So as they move along through their business, it's going to be less and less questions until they come across something that is what am I trying to say? That they come up to an impasse, or they have some kind of barrier that's stopping them. So their goals for the month for a full-timer is to get 2 or 3 parties a month. They need to be having that join conversation once a week. That means asking someone to either partner with them, join their team. Again, all of the language and the terminology needs to be what you would use in a normal conversation. Don't force it. If you don't like the words that you're saying, then the person receiving it is going to know that those are not your words. You need to be selling at least a minimum of 500 PRV a month. So 500 PRV is so you get paid on your team. Now, a full-timer is going to be one who is wanting to have a business. That means they're wanting to grow their business. They're wanting to grow a team, being able to increase their income. Of course, I'm going to be dropping the income disclosure down below. So check that out as you scroll through the description. And they also need to be doing daily posts. It could be just in the VIP, it could be on a business page, it could be on your personal page. And honestly, I do all three. I make sure that I have VIP posts scheduled up at least twice a day. And then I post on my social media. And it's about 80, 20, 70, 30% of what is Scentsy and what is just personal life. And no, the bigger number is not Scentsy, the smaller number is. So if I did 10 posts in a day, majority of them, about 7 to 8, are going to be non-Scentsy, and 2 to 3 are going to be Scentsy. Now, there are some days that we have a new product release and I may do more, especially at the beginning of a month. I'm shouting out my team, or if we're really close to goals, then I may post that towards the end of the month. But other than that, it's about 2 to 3 posts a day that's Scentsy, and the rest of it is just either motivational or it's funny memes or it's some image of some product that I really love. Now, the monthly mail outs and handout samples. Now, I have moved my VIP group and my VIP customers to a 3-month mail out, but samples. I do hand out quite a bit of samples and my business card. The samples, those can be anything that you have. If you have rub and sniff stickers like I do, I hand those out like candy. That way they get the 10 cents. I don't have to worry about taking a lot of time to make samples. I use the rub and sniff stickers. Again, I'm a full-time student and I don't have as much time as I had before of making all the beautiful molds. I do rub and sniff stickers along with a product sheet for the people I meet. And then, of course, all of the hobbyists and the part-timers. So that means sending out catalogs. It can be digital. It can be the full catalog. It can be a product sheet, something that your customers know the season has changed and there's new products to be seen. And then on your actions. Now, this is completely subjective to what you want to do. Don't use these if you look at these and say, these aren't going to work. Actions, Monday, motivational Monday. It can be something you're doing with your team, with your VIPers, with your social media. Motivational Monday. Tuesday, training or training Tuesday. You could be doing training for your customers of showing them how to use products, or maybe you're doing a training for your team and you start doing YouTube videos like you're watching now. And work at Wednesday. Maybe Wednesday is your day that you have 2 hours you're going to work for the entire week and you need to get things done. Now, what I do is I keep a running list of the things that I see I need to do, but I may not have time for that day. And as a list grows, then I know I have to pick a day to do those items. And then I sit down and I do them. I do this with my schoolwork as well. When I know I have different projects coming up or different assignments or exams due, I know that I have to schedule out my time to make sure I'm studying for everything, along with making sure I'm still contacting and reaching back out to my customers. Thank you Thursday. That could be the day that you're sending out your thank you notes, your thank you text messages, emails. I honestly do that after each order. I send a thank you text to their phone number that's listed through the workstation. If I don't receive any comments back and they're ordering pretty consistently, but they're not responding to text messages, I move them over to email. And I leave a note in the contact saying, no text, do email. And then follow up Friday. This could be those days that you follow up with those customers. So again, since I'm thanking people as the orders go out, when I get an email saying that the order has shipped, I either try to remember or I go through once a week and I check to see if it's been delivered, and I try to give them a day. Sometimes I just say, hey, it's coming today. Make sure you pay attention. And I go from there. So as you look through these, what do you think? What do you feel like you are? Let's look back at me. Hi. So are you a kidnapper, a hobbyist, a part-timer, or full-time consultant? These are just some breakdowns. This is just my opinion. These are the things that I've broken down for my team to kind of get them an idea of what they are, or what they could do, or what they would want to do. I can't ever say should. I am more of a mentor to my team. I am more of that AI person. When they ask of what can I do or how can I do it, I can respond to them with something. I've tried a lot of different systems in my business. I've tried a lot of different avenues for connecting with my team. And honestly, guys, if you are a leader and you are struggling with connecting with your team, do understand that it does not have anything to do with you. Your team is going to do what they want to do. They are going to be either asking a lot of questions, or they're going to be ghosting you, or they're just going to be checking in when they're wanting. Forcing a time to meet is not always easy. And sometimes you just have to pick the time. And if people miss, they miss. But when it's important to them, they will show up. If it's something that they're wanting to move their business forward, then they will show up. And it's going to be, it's one thing about the summer and the springtime is that it is slower. And so there is no rush. Everybody feels, there's so much stuff changing in the air. They've changed over their scents. And sometimes they need to take a breather because fall and winter sometimes is so busy and drastic. So I hope you enjoyed the breakdown of the 4 different types of consultants. Let me know below what you think. And make sure that you like, share, and subscribe to my channel so you can continue getting great content for Scentsy consultants and even customers. I love you all. I hope you have a blessed day, and I'll talk to you guys soon.